Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Thursday, January 11th, and we're going to get rid of that winter storm. We'll keep it in the Ohio Valley and off to the northeast, and then for us, looks like record high temperatures today. It's going to feel darn like spring. A record high for the day is 54 degrees set back in 1975, and we expect temperatures today to be in the mid 50s, possibly a couple locations touching 60 degrees, so it's going to feel really balmy out there. And we're down to around an inch of snow this morning in town, and we'll kiss that goodbye here as we go through the day. Again, winds off the deck overnight into this morning were pretty brisk, and that helped mix the atmosphere up, and that's why we really didn't get that fog to materialize like we thought we might. And again, we got sharply cold air moving in tonight. High temperatures tomorrow will only be in the mid-20s, and that'll occur around midnight, and then we expect temperatures to slowly fall down to around 10 degrees tomorrow night. And as we transition to the cold, we could see a little period of freezing rain. Some areas could pick up anywhere from a trace to maybe 3 inches of snow as we go through Friday night. But again, the main storm will go across northeast Ohio up into the St. Lawrence Seaway, well to our south and east. As far as the Wednesday wrap up, we had a high of 45.8 degrees, and that was at midnight. Low was 25 degrees. We had 200 of an inch of precipitation, mainly drizzle, some light rain, light freezing rain. And again, no snow yesterday, down to an inch, and 16.1 so far for the season. Temperatures out there, this looks like early May with temperatures in the low 50s across the area. Brown City a little bit cooler at 44, but very, very warm temperatures for this time of year. And if we look at a couple of slides here, this is a snowfall from this year. You can see almost 30 days with at least 3 or 4 inches of snow on the ground. We had 2 weeks of that last year in December. Both Decembers were pretty good snowfall months, but then after that, very little snow fell for the rest of the season. We expect this warm up, and then we got some cold air coming for the next 4 or 5 days behind the storm. And then it looks like we're going to warm up very significantly, I think, in week 2 and week 3 before we then turn quite cold as we turn the page in around the first week of February. Looks like we'll go into another very cold pattern. But again, we'll worry about that later. And if we look at the radar this morning and the weather map, you can see the low pressure systems that are moving up this front as it continues to sag, and that's what will give us a chance. Again, notice some of the freezing rain along the cold frontal boundary, and that could happen around here as we get into tonight, and then maybe a little bit of snow, anywhere from a trace to a couple of inches as it looks right now. And then we got our storm system that's going to be dropping down from the Oklahoma Panhandle down towards Alabama, and then it's going to move gently to the northeast. And the reason why is just doesn't have a lot of development. It's not going to deepen as much as what we had earlier thought. So here's that low pressure system that we thought might give us a pretty significant snow. Instead of coming into around the Arklatex area and then intensifying and taking a northeast turn someplace into Ohio, it's going to continue to dig to the south and not develop nearly as strong as we thought. So it'll just gently move off to the northeast through Virginia and then off towards the eastern seaboard, giving heaviest snows really from central and northeast Ohio up into the St. Lawrence Seaway. The winter storm watches are definitely in effect to the south of that, but that would be mainly for about 2 to 4 inches of snow with a little bit of ice. And right now I think the areas around Columbus will get about 3 or 4 inches of snow with maybe 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain. So it'll be definitely bad travel in that area. And if we look at the heaviest snowfall in the dashed lines where we expect the heaviest snow to fall within that area. And again, much lighter as we get to the areas. In this low pressure system, you can see 996 millibars. We earlier expected that it might come into Ohio at about 990 millibars. So definitely a weaker storm. That's why it wasn't able to cut further to the northwest. And if we look at the 7-day precipitation, you can see modest amounts around 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch across much of the MAC and LAC area. And again, areas that could pick up a little more in the way of snowfall might be St. Thomas. So I think you'll be the big winner of all the locations of our weather stations, possibly to some degree. Maybe Tupperville and London certainly could pick up some decent snow as well. But St. Thomas, you looks like you should get the most snow out of this. And if we look at the snowfall over the next 7 days, you can see anywhere from a trace to maybe 2 or 3 inches across much of the MAC area. And again, I think there'll be heavier amounts as you get down in southwest Ontario. But again, the potential is there for even more. If we looked at the WPC's the 72-hour map, which I just showed you earlier, that actually does have, if you went to the 75 or 90 to 95 percentile of the potential, it actually would land a lot of snow across the area. So it's not impossible the models could really throw us a curveball. But again, most likely all the main snow will be well off to our south and east. As far as the forecast goes today, record or near record high temperatures today in the upper 50s. Again, somebody in the area I think will hit 60 degrees, and then we drop like a rock as we get into tonight, only in the mid 20s, so a nice drop, and then we hold steady. Our high temperature will be right at midnight, and then we'll fall steadily throughout the day, get down to about 9 tomorrow night. And again, as that cold front comes through, we could have a brief period of mixed precipitation that would turn over to some light snow before it ends. And again, maybe from snow showers. A little clipper system could bring us a trace to 2 inches as we get into Sunday night into Monday. We'll keep an eye on that system. And again, you can see temperatures will be quite cold, only in the teens to low 20s, with lows possibly down into the single digits. As far as weather watch goes, very busy out there. Winter storm watches for the Ohio Valley up to St. Lawrence Seaway, area flood watches. And then we got a huge area of winter weather advisories. And we also have some spots with winter storm warnings. A lot of that due to light to moderate snow with very strong winds though. And then you can see blizzard warnings off in portions of the Dakotas into Minnesota, winter storm warnings, and we even have some wind chill advisories. So very cold air is coming back beginning tomorrow. And so thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.